Just, we keep going back and forth. Good morning. It is 3:40 in the morning and I'm on my way to pick up my sister for our 4th annual Sisters Getaway weekend. This year we plan on doing our first section hike of the Sheltowee Trace Trail. The Sheltowee Trace Trail is a 344-mile trail which begins in the northern Terminus in Rowan County, Kentucky, about 25 miles north of Morehead University, and ends in Big South Fork, Tennessee. This year my sister is bringing her daughter, so we will have some company. It's a nice coffee maker. Take a picture of you. No. Alright, we are about an hour away from dropping off our car and then getting this all started. The afternoon weather looked a little sketchy, but we were fully committed. Our next stop was Forest Service Road 977D, where we were going to drop off a water cache for the beginning of day 2, which looked like it would not have much water. That's the fire pit at the campsite that we're staying at tonight, or where we're dropping water. Back behind the tree.
I'm not bringing the water bottle. I think I'll have enough water with these two.
Okay. I know, that's what I'm wondering, if I could take one thing of water out.
How heavy is yours?
35.
Oh, wow.
Not that bad.
And yours is 40 and mine's 30. We all got a little bit of everything. All right, this is our first crossing. It's all of 1 minute in. It has been raining for weeks. So typically this is not this fast and running, but it has been raining for weeks. We had really bad storms last night. Do you want my sticks for balance?
Don't be like bring a window on that one trail. Yeah, I guess. So the first time we went
About 5 minutes in. Okay, we're going to try this little rock and then leap over with 40 pounds on our back. Here we go. There we go. Oh, that was easy. Another couple minutes and we got another water crossing. All right, half a mile in. Climbing up. Whew. All right. 2 miles in and 2 big hills. Our expert tree climber. Look at that. That was easy.
Wow.
Mile 2 and change. Hill 5. Whew, that was a stinger. All right, we came to the end. We either go left Or you go right. We went left and it looked like we went off the trail. So we're going to try to go right. Oh, there's a sign right there on the tree. We missed it. 3.6 miles in. This is, I think, hill number 6. I don't know these people on YouTube saying there's one hill. This is one long hill. All right, mile 37 wildlife pond. We took about a 20-minute break. We're at mile 4.5-ish. It's about 12 and we left at 9, so it's been 3 hours. But her pack is like 50 pounds, so she needed a break.
Well, let's see if it got better or worse.
Hey, look, there's Rest Rock. Oh, Rest. It's a nice little camp spot. Get you guys back there. Just went through some little bit of red. It's been raining really hard for about an hour. It's slowing down now. We're about half a mile from the Clark farm. It's 2:30. Right at 3. And we finally got to Clark Park here. It is still raining, but the storm is pretty past. It's been raining a good hour. We're wondering if we can stay here. It's only 10 miles in, but Lindsay's got that 50-pound pack. And it's been up and down. It ain't flat. I'm gonna go in here and see what's in here.
I just grabbed the bag and stick it in my pocket so I get my phone in there as quick as possible.
Now I gotta have my wet burritos here in a minute. I'm excited. Oh, they got a log. We gotta sign the log. Oh, they got a stove and a sink. This is so cool. I wonder if the water works. Can't read the sign. It's wet, so I'm not gonna touch it. Got a little cornhole. All right. This is so cool. We're gonna have some lunch. And I'm gonna see if we can hang over here. If we're allowed, I have no idea. Look at that water. That was a pretty hefty storm we just had. I'm pretty sure we were in the red for a bit. Now we're just wet and cold, but yeah, that water's running. We're trying to decide what we're gonna do from here. We're not gonna make it to where we drop the water off. We're at 9.2. We're thinking about staying here, or we're gonna push it, I think 2 miles. There's a bunch of streams and maybe there'll be somewhere to camp. All right, see if we can replay this a little bit. That's where we came out. You walk out of that trail, and Clark Farm is over there. And then, so the trail is directly behind me. The farm is to the right. And then if you keep walking straight just a few, and then go to the left, here is the bridge that crosses over. There's some nice running water, which I don't think is always this fast. And then it runs into that stream, which I'll show you in a minute is running really fast. So we cross over this little bridge. And then you go to the left, you've got a bunch of neighborhoods, or like, I don't know, I guess it's Clark Farm and a house or two. Not sure. Private property. And then there's the famous spigot. Just crossing over the little road, and there's the spigot. I tried it a minute ago and it did not work. I don't know if it's because it's in standing water, but it didn't work, so I'm going to need to go filter. But before I do, there's the little bridge I just came out of, and you can see back in the background the little fire truck. That's the Clark Farm. So now if you come across the bridge and go across the street and go right on the street, right there, you're going to go right back into the woods right there. There's a sign you really can't see, but it says trail. And so you're going to cross over this. And it's running pretty good. And it runs right under this bridge. It comes out over here. That's running pretty good. It's beautiful out now. Alright, I need to go filter some water. Alright, so there's the bridge. The spigot's over there. I just came back across the bridge and there's a little turtle on the tree. That's cute. I'm going to go right down here and try to filter some water. This was a trail book that was inside the little barn part of Clark Farm, and Papa Bear had signed it, so I took a picture of it. We just met Mrs. Clark. She told us how to work the water fountain, so we're going to try it again. Because I pulled it all the way up and I didn't get anything. Oh, there it goes. Wow. We got Wi-Fi. Mrs. Clark showed us how to get Wi-Fi, so you get free Wi-Fi here too. Awesome. Mr. Clark's over there cutting there's the bridge. He's cutting the grass. This is tricky. There's a sign buried in there. And I guess that's the little trail. Wow. All right. This is what it looks like. This is, wow. Look, and then you come up on the gate. How do you open it? I guess you just push it. Oh, you just push it. Off we go. Due to the recent rains a few hours earlier, this was pretty much the trail for most of the day, and it went all the way up through the forest just like that. That's really pretty. This is only 9.5. Clark Farm is 9.2, so. Yep. This is the service road that you walk up. This is neat. You pop up out of the woods. It's like this is kind of neat up here. See, we could sleep up here. Somebody's little cabin. Right before the red gate. After that field. I like that little cabin. So cute. We're at mile 10.3 and it's 6 o'clock at night. And this is what it looks like. These are really wet. So after you go past the cabin and the red gate, you descend down the mountain and you will do multiple river crosses back and forth across this particular little river of water. Although again, it had just rained, so I'm not positive this water is like this year-round. Up until this point, the Sheltowee had been pretty well marked with turtles. At this point, we could not find turtles any longer because of all the fallen trees and the brush, and we were getting very nervous because it was getting dark.
Mile 11.
We were actually lost for about 20 minutes, struggling to find the trail or a turtle.
All right. Like dry. This is the dry riverbed.
Once we found the trail and started heading south, we actually heard trail maintenance weed whacking, and we knew we were going the right direction.
Cool. There he is. We came out over there. Across the Holly Fork Road. Now we're going to the suspension bridge. All right, there's our suspension bridge. The guy told us to go across, then go across the field. We'll find some trees to hang in. It's getting close to 7. If the water wasn't moving, it wouldn't be so scary, but that's like an illusion for your eyes. Oh my gosh. Wow, wow. This water is hauling. Which makes this very scary. He's following us. All right, you get off the bridge and then it's like a little cornfield here. There's turtles. And he said to follow this and we'll eventually find some trees to hang in. We'll see, before we go up a hill.
So after hiking 12 miles, we plopped down in that tick-infested field and had some dinner.
It's not supposed to, though.
Then we hung up our hammocks on the mountain behind us, right on the edge of that field.
I'm down here. And then JD is
We were then serenaded to sleep by a bunch of frogs. It was awesome.
Here are the woods that we slept in. We literally slept on the side of this hill. It was an interesting night. We slept right by this waterfall. Get some good sleep. This is all right across from the suspension bridge. All right, 9:45. We are off. Yay! Day 2. All right, this is the first water crossing. We had to put those rocks there. Yay for us! Well, it's always fun in the beginning. It's by the 9th one, you're just like, this is not fun. We did it again. Second water crossing, we had to put rocks down.
I wanted to show you guys. I thought we were going to have a second phone call. And then I was like,
All right, we just came out of there. This is what the sign says going in. And it's Highway 799, mile 13-8. And there's a turtle here. And then way down there on another pole is a turtle. So we're hitting the road for the first time. Hey, there's even turtles on the road to tell you to go that way. That's too cute.
now they won't.
All right, this is probably 5 minutes later. And we're crossing 64. Beautiful. All right, and right after you cross the bridge, there's a gravel road on the right. That's 977 Forest Road, however you say that, Forest Service Road. 977, and we're heading on that one for a while. This is where we dropped our water off, somewhere along here. There was our water pickup. It's been the only campsite so far. And on we go, down the road, until we find a campsite to stay at some point. Yay! Mile 17-2 in the middle of the road. We're hungry. It's 1:15. Lunchtime. Right, mile 18-4, we're off and going in again. Just like that, mile 19, back out to the road. All right, 19-5, we're going back in. Mile 19-7, we're back out. And it looks like we go across the street and go right back in. So these are called transition points on Far Out. We just realized. We're going to try to hit mile 22 where there's some campsites and call it a night. It's about 3:30 now. So that's what we're headed for. Mile 20. Oops. That's pretty cool. Kind of looks like the gorge. FYI. Once you hit that forest road, you come out of the woods in the morning and hit that forest road, there is no water. We've had none. Mile 21. Came out of the, we were just on the woods and transitioning again. And you just walk up this hill. 21.8. Got power lines and a really pretty view of some town, city. Those mountains or hills or whatever you want to call them look really neat. How bumpy they are and different sizes. At mile 22, we started looking for a campsite. Neither 22.2 or 22.4 had any trees which we could hang on. And we were just too tired to go to 22.9, so we literally just plopped in the middle of the trail. We didn't want to do that, but we really didn't have any choice. There was just poison ivy everywhere. But other than the trail angel, we hadn't seen anybody thus far, so we decided this wasn't really a bad idea. So we grabbed a little dinner in the one spot that didn't have poison ivy, did some stretching, and then went to bed. 9:45, day 3, here we go. Heading to Moorhead in 2 miles. That's close. All right, mile 24.3, no idea. Lots of ivy. Surprise, surprise. There's something. I don't know. We're past the satellite section. What are those? Are those plugged in? No.
No, what? Plugged into what?
I thought they were plugged into this thing over here. Like the gate's open, but there's too much ivy. What is that? This is just a couple minutes later. That's not something you see in the woods every day. I'm not sure we're even on the path now, but we haven't seen anywhere else to turn. And we need to find a turtle, but I feel like we're walking into the back of somebody's. This doesn't seem right. Huh. Let's see if there's a turtle on the other side here. All right, when you hit that lovely sign, don't go that way. That was the trail to the stars, which was where we saw the satellite. So now we had to walk all the way back. So you get to the top, hit that sign, go to the left. That's better. All right, here we go.
On the tree right there.
Huh?
Yeah, way down there. I didn't even look that way.
I looked that way for a second. I
Oh
saw
my
that
goodness,
arrow
I
on
did
the
not
other
even look
sign.
that way.
I
We just
saw-
walked over a mile.
I saw the arrow on the sign and my mind read Sheltowee Trace.
That's far down.
I'd like to-
All right, mile 24.1. We got to this mess, went there, and completely got off the map. No turtles anywhere. So now we're gonna go to the right and see what happens. There goes my sticks. We went right, and it just took us back to where we started. So we're gonna go back and go left here. We had gone left, and on my Far Out map, it was way off. We were out in the green somewhere, but we've gone back up to the right. We've gone back to where we started. There was no other place to go. So we're gonna back at this spot. We're gonna go left down that trail, and hopefully we'll see some turtles at some point. All right, we're going the right direction. Yay!
She's only got 7 followers, so they're all families.
Why you busting on how many followers I got? You hear that, all 7 of you? Actually, 3 of them are mine. I just did them on different devices. Mile 24-3, this is the wildlife pond study area.
So,
I like hearing the little toad frogs. But now they won't do it. They're kind of shy on video. Oh, there you go.
I like to be videoed.
After getting lost twice, once at the Trail of Stars and once at the Fallen Tree, and walking for about an hour and 15 minutes out of our way, we finally reached Eagle Lake, which was the beginning of Moorhead.
All right, the lake is up there. We walked down that hill, and right at the bottom of the hill is the Wellness Center. We're gonna go in there and fill some water and get some air. It's 90 degrees right now at 12:03. We went in the Wellness Center, we weren't getting in. So the bathrooms are on the outside that you have to use, but obviously looking at the water fountains, their water's not running. So we couldn't fill up water bottles here. You can go to the bathroom, but that's about it. So we ran into a guy, what was his name? Brian. And he took all our water bottles with him back to his house. He's gonna fill them all up and drop them off at the beginning of the trail so we don't have to do a full water carry again for 5 miles on concrete today. So that was really cool.
It was about a 10-minute walk from the rec center to Dairy Queen, and they had turtles on the sidewalk. The employees at Dairy Queen were incredibly helpful. They even came out and offered to give us their charger so we could charge our phones while waiting.
Like 2 o'clock or something. We're leaving, there's DQ. And we're heading right behind DQ. You hit this main street, turn right, and just walk all day on this little highway for 5 miles. So here we go, another road day. It is 95, but feels like 100 out here today. All right, never mind. We went behind Dairy Queen. You're actually supposed to go in front of Dairy Queen and hike down. I think it's Main Street or something, I don't know, but so now we're back on Main Street and hiking through town, heading towards the Osbury Rocks, I think is where we're going to stay tonight. So I think it's like 5 miles in town and a mile once we get out. So, all right, it's pretty cool. Go. Yay! So we're headed towards the Shell. So we're still walking. A couple miles in. We're getting closer. At this point, we had to make a decision because in my hiker's manual from 2012, it told us to turn right after we had crossed the bridge down there by the stop sign. We were to cross that bridge and go right. But when we looked left, up creek, we saw turtles on the trees. So we decided our feet were hurting bad enough. We were just going to go left, follow the turtles, and we were just going to take a break and soak our feet in the water for a while. We were there for about an hour. It was well worth the break. Bunches of tadpole, minnow things swimming in here. I don't know if you can see it. 4:30. We're leaving our little creek. And you got a little turtle there. That's where we're headed. This was a long country road walk, but we actually enjoyed it, seeing the cows, the cats, the houses, the barns. It was a nice little walk, and right at the end of the walk, you get to the head of the trail. So you open the box, and then it should be a pen and paper and stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've never signed one other than the one at the Clark farm, I guess. I don't know what you do with it. Just put your name on it?
Yeah, I guess just keep track of it all.
Yeah, I think they get some kind of state funding and stuff like that for how many people use the trail. So they ask you to do it online, and then I guess they do it this way too.
No more papers in there.
Oh, are they all filled out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Put it in there.
Brian left us a drop right after that box where we tried to sign in, the tree, right after the box. The one we had met at the recreation center.
Oh my gosh. It's cold.
And he came and filled up a whole bag full of stuff for us. We gave him our empty water bottles. He went home and filled them all up, then brought them out here. What was this, like a 4-mile walk?
He probably drove his car right to there.
Right, yeah, and just dropped it off, but still, he went out of his way for
There's
us.
a lot of stuff in here.
Let's see what it is here.
Mom, can you get them? Hello?
Wow, he really...
You are not getting in this quickly. There's so much stuff. There's
And
ice
this big
in
bag
it.
of ice.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh. Take a picture of this, Whitney.
Wow.
Oh.
How cool is this?
That is so nice.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness. Wow. It's about 6:30. We're guessing this is the Osbury Rocks. At this point, we're just kind of looking for a place to hang and maybe up here a little bit. We're still at the Osbury Rocks. It's 8.
Slide down if you put your
We're
head
setting up
there.
camp for the last night.
So.
It's on.
Again, we couldn't find a good camping spot. It was full of ivy, so we set up in the middle of the trail again and had no problems. Early in the planning phase, when we were made aware of the high heat index we were going to face, we quickly got onto the Sheltowee Trace Facebook page and asked about shuttles in case we needed to bail. Not only did someone step up and offer to help, but he also made a suggestion to go see Lakigi Rock on our last day on the way out because it wasn't far from camp, so we did. Just kind of pack up a little stuff off the trail, but we're going to leave our hammocks and stuff here and walk to Leggergy. I'll have to put it on here. Rock, where apparently you can overlook Cave Run. And then we'll come back here and pack everything up and start walking down Leggergy Road, whatever it is. And Lindsay's friends will pick us up. We walked on the road a little bit. Now we're walking in the woods back towards the Leggergy Rock, or I'm not sure how to pronounce that, sorry. This is just beautiful back here. It's just beautiful. Great place to hang a hammock. This was definitely a beautiful, beautiful place to walk, but we were kind of taken aback by the graffiti that was everywhere and the broken glass and the garbage that was everywhere. It was obviously a party zone. We cannot find the path to the top of this rock. Lindsay thought it was this way, but then you can get up, but
It is this way. I just think
getting down is not going to be pretty. JD went around the other way. We're not sure where she went. She said she's rock climbing.
Another way, we could go down her way, we could go up this way, but
I don't know.
I just don't want to chance it and get up there and get stuck.
Uh-uh.
Already.
All right, I'm sitting here at the bottom of that Leggergy rock. They decided to go up because you can see like Cave Run Lake from up there. They went up. My gut said not to go, so I stayed down. I'm not afraid of heights or anything, but I don't know. My gut just said stay down, so I did. So I'm sitting down here for about a half an hour, eating my little peanut butter and jelly burrito. Wait for them to come back down. We'll head an hour back, hike back to the augury, I don't know, rock where we camped last night. And then we'll pack up all our stuff. We kind of shoved it off the trail so people could bike on it. We shoved it off the trail. We'll pack it up and then walk down that Forest Service road where her friend is going to pick us up and kind of drop us off at one of the cars, and we go do the whole car thing, pick up our cars, and then head back home. Well, I don't know where his head is. Oh, he's up. Yeah, he's going to the top.
He's going uphill.
I think I got him in here. I don't want to stop and put my glasses on. He's okay.
Did you get a picture with it?
No,
His head is up.
yeah, he's smelling us. We are packed up. Getting ready to go.
No.
Lindsay's, putting on the flop-flops.
You can smell her already.
What time is it? It's 1:30.
Wipe down once.
All right, we're gonna go into town. Then we're gonna find a car. It was wild seeing the DQ that took us 2 hours to hike from to camp the day before only took us 20 minutes in the car to drive to. Quite depressing, really. We're back at the car.
Oh, wouldn't these have been nice?
She literally said you want those, and I went,
I
"No,
know,
don't
because
need
I
those."
never need them, but now I need
I don't
them.
need those.
All right, we picked up my car. Heading home. Actually, we're gonna go to DQ and get some ice cream and some lunch. It's 3:30. We're a little hungry, so we're gonna go get something to eat and then head home. It's a 3-hour drive home. Even though we only completed 31 of the 65 miles that we originally planned, we did it at a perfect pace and we had an absolute blast. We are already planning for next year's section.